So your poem is this "Too Close,"
Right.
which was is it was so sort of clever and delightfully entertaining. I thought this format, which everybody can see here. Do you want to read it and then we'll talk about it maybe?
Oh yeah, I'm glad to.
Okay.
Too close. The knives in the drawer are not only teeth up, I notice they're too close. So I get my latex gloves, mask, barbecue tongs, and begin the operation. As often the case with surgery, once you go in, you see things you hadn't before. The spoons are practically having sex. Not my business, normally teas inside tables and a ceramic souvenir from Stockholm peeping. I proceed with the prophylactic procedure. It's a time to be thorough. Though I know what I can do in the house, I can't on the road. Cars in their lanes, but now too close. Same with park trees and properties whose square footage share slatted fences, and the neighbor has it, according to local buzz. They can't just be slid over. She's not a neighbor, Lois hollers from the other room, watching the news too close to the TV. Residue from times of smaller screens. Closeness mutates, spreads, and shrinks everywhere, not always easy to see. She's 3 streets away, she says about the neighbor, while I apply the ruler test to the books and wait for her to get up from her chair.
And that was the poem from yesterday, "Too Close"
Yeah.
by Michael Mark. So, Michael, how did that form? Like, where did you get the idea for enclosing each of the words like that? That's something I've never seen before. I love when I come across, reading. I think I did the math once, and I think I've read 2 million poems as submissions, and I never seen anybody do that. And it's a concrete poem that sort of doesn't have to work as a concrete, like it works as a regular poem anyway, but there's that concrete element. Where did you come up with that? Where that idea come from?
I think I wanted just to dramatize what the separation does between these everything. And I immediately started doing commas in between each word. And I said, you know what, let me do it more. And so what can I do? So I tried the parentheses and I said to myself, oh, I think this is either a trick and silly, or maybe it has a moment. Maybe there's a dramatic moment that brings to the poem, there's something physical to it, because this is a physical as well as, of course, psychological, emotional state we're in. Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm glad you did because it really works. It's a there's humor in there, and then it sort of plays on the obsessiveness, but then there's the real truth of it too, which is that anytime I'm anywhere out, and I think too close,
Well,
and
yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I probably would have gone to AWP. Not that anybody else shouldn't have gone who went, but I was on the fence. And I read your post, and I came away and I spoke to Lois, who stars in the poem in my life. Um, and I said, I don't know. And we talked a lot about it. We read your post again and again. And
oh
I'm
really?
so pleased and happy and thankful that you wrote that post. You continue to encourage and bring science to it. Some may not agree with it, and that's okay, but I do appreciate it.
Hmm. Oh well, yeah, I'm glad that just making choices to stay safe. That's good.
Yeah,
You're down in San Diego, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
how are things there? It seems like I looked at the chart, and there's really very little, very few deaths in San Diego.
It seems that way. Honestly, I'm not the scientist that you are. And this is why I take the poem, which is, this epidemic, a pandemic, and I make it a personal story about me and my wife in our house and our silverware, because I don't understand the world that large. So I hope everybody is going to be as safe as possible, but I don't know the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I think vitamin D might play a factor,
You said, yeah.
yeah, so that might be one of the reasons why, or a lot of it's just luck too. Where those super spreaders happen to be early on. But anyway, yeah, thanks for sharing that poem and for
Yeah,
joining us today, Michael. It's always great to see you, and I hope to see you again sometime at the Wrightwood Literary Festival again
yeah, me too.
if
I'd
we
love
can
that.
have it. I might as well say to everybody here who's watching, if you're planning coming, we decided this week to cancel it because we can't. It's in September, and I was holding off as long as I could, but we just can't do it this year. So it'll hopefully be back in 2021, and hope to see you there when it is, Michael.
Me too. Thanks,
Yeah,
Tim.
thanks, Mike.